welcome to another episode of Untold Legends, where we explore the stories found within the world of video games, movies, comic books, and anything between. Last time in the Mortal Kombat timeline, we covered the story of Liu Kang, champion of Mortal Kombat. His origins, his rise to victory, his downfall into the Netherrealm, and his ultimate ascension into godhood. Today, we're going to have some fun and detail some of the lesser-known Mortal Kombat characters, a group that has a fairly short history throughout the series, and some have the dishonor of being introduced in the worst game of the entire series, Mortal Kombat Special Forces.
Oh yeah!
Kano's Black Dragon crew, the Black Dragon members serving as his underlings, the ones he depends on to get things done. As leader of the Black Dragon clan, Kano is the head of a ruthless criminal organization, dealing in illegal weapon sales, human trafficking, anything that could bring them power and riches. Being involved in these black markets inevitably brought the attention of the law, and the United States formed the Special Forces, an agency designed to track down and end international crime gangs. Before the first Mortal Kombat tournament, during the events of Special Forces, Kano learned of an ancient crystal that was said to give control over others, and could open portals to other worlds. Seeing this as an opportunity for world domination, Kano decided to steal the crystal but needed help to keep the Special Forces distracted, and freed his Black Dragon crew from a Special Forces prison. The Black Dragon, known as No-Face, set up a hideout in an abandoned warehouse, a man obsessed with fire and explosive devices. His nose, ears, and hair were burned off long ago, and he wore dynamite strapped to his chest and a flamethrower attached to his back. In his only appearance in the entire Mortal Kombat series, he was found hiding in the warehouse and killed by Jax. Alongside No-Face, the Black Dragon Tazia was also freed from prison and hid underground, building a lair in the sewers. Tazia is described as the expert swordsman of the Black Dragon, a ninja master in purple tights and short black hair. She also had the ability to teleport and reappear in a large cloud of smoke, and she can also generate energy projectiles. But those abilities still weren't enough to stop Jax from ending her threat in the classic timeline. The two most well-known members of Kano's crew are Jarek and Tremor. Jarek has the most history in the series in comparison to the rest of the crew under Kano's rule, and he's the one responsible for one of the most hilariously awful arcade endings in Mortal Kombat 4.
I'm sorry, Jax. Please, don't drop me. Wait, I promise.
Too late, Jarek.
You can't drop me. You have to uphold the law. You have to arrest me. Wait, this is brutality. You can't do it.
Wrong, Jarek. This is not a brutality. This is a fatality.
Jarek was developed as Kano's second-in-command, and his likeness was based off Midway character artist Herman Sanchez. He's been seen by many fans as a discount Kano, and in a game where Kano wasn't present, and Jarek made his first playable appearance, he shared the same special moves, and even had his own version of Kano's fatalities.
Finish him! Jarek wins. Fatality.
His first chronological appearance in the series was in Special Forces. Jarek was under the impression that Kano was trying to reform the Black Dragon and needed his help, but Kano was actually using his crew as pawns to slow down Jax. After being freed from prison, Jarek was stationed as head of Black Dragon security at a downtown office the clan had been using as a front for their activities, and Jax stormed the building and tracked Jarek down to the helipad. Jax believed that he had killed the Black Dragon's second-in-command, but Jarek had actually survived, and didn't reappear until just before the events of Mortal Kombat 4 in Gold. Kano was believed by most to have been killed during Shao Kahn's Mortal Kombat 3 and Trilogy Earthrealm Invasion, and the Black Dragon was falling apart. Most of its members were either dead or arrested, and Jarek was thought to be the final surviving Black Dragon. After learning about Kano's supposed death, Jarek fled, and he was constantly pursued by Sonya and Jax, often getting into confrontations with them and escaping successfully. But during this time, the Elder God of Death Shinnok had returned, and all the realms were in danger. Jarek agreed to help Earthrealm forces fight against Shinnok, but he had no noble intentions. With Earthrealm destroyed, there wouldn't be anything for the Black Dragon to rule over in the future. No criminal empire could flourish. After Liu Kang defeated Shinnok, and peace returned to the realms, Sonya set out to arrest Jarek and put a final end to the Black Dragon clan.
It's over, Jarek. Shinnok is dead. The good guys won. You're coming back with me.
Never, Sonya. I agreed to help defeat Shinnok, not turn myself into the Special Forces. The Black Dragon live on!
The Black Dragon died with Kano. You're the last one, Jarek.
Never!
Come in, Major Briggs. This is Lieutenant Sonya Blade, over.
Sonya, glad to hear you're alive.
You actually sound happy to hear from me, Jax. Things get boring?
Not since you followed Liu Kang into the Nether Realm.
Well, it's over now. I'm returning to base. 10-4, Jax.
It seemed that the Black Dragon were eradicated, but in fact, Jarek had survived. On the way down, he was able to draw his weapon and drive it into the side of a cliff, slowing down his fall. He still suffered enormous injuries and went into hiding while he recovered. He became obsessed with revenge against Sonya and Jax and traveled the realms in search of ancient texts that could teach him deadly new techniques. He practiced these new techniques and left behind a trail of murder and mayhem, something that attracted the evil sorcerer Quan Chi. During the events of Mortal Kombat Armageddon, when the elemental blaze threatened the very fabric of reality, Quan Chi recruited Jarek into Shinnok's army of darkness, and he joined the massive battle to claim the power of Blaze. Like most every other combatant, Jarek was killed in the conflict, never attaining the revenge that he sought. His last appearance in the classic timeline. The final member of Kano's crew, Tremor, another ninja-style character described as an earth elemental that could manipulate lava and other geological forces.
Tremor. Let us renew our acquaintance.
Tremor wins.
His origins date as far back as Mortal Kombat Trilogy, where he was supposed to have been a playable character, but never left the planning stages. He was instead replaced by the Purple Ninja Rain. His first chronological appearance was alongside the rest of his prison escapees and special forces as a Black Dragon blindly loyal to Kano. He was tasked with protecting a portal leading to Outworld, but he was confronted by Jax and failed to protect Kano, Tremor's one and only appearance in the classic timeline. After the events of Mortal Kombat Armageddon and Shao Kahn's victory over Blaze, Raiden reset the timeline and altered the history of Mortal Kombat. It's never been made clear how the events of Special Forces fits within this new timeline, if it even does. No Face never appeared again in any form, and the first of Kano's crew to appear in the new timeline is Tremor, but mostly as a bonus non-canon character. In Mortal Kombat 9, exclusive to the PlayStation Vita port, Tremor appears in the challenge mode in traditional Mortal Kombat ninja garb. In the Mortal Kombat X comic taking place before Mortal Kombat X, Kano's crew finally reunited since the time of Special Forces, minus Snowface. At some point in the storyline, the daughter of Johnny and Sonya, Cassie Cage, and her close friend and daughter of Jax, Jackie Briggs, found themselves in a fight club. Cassie was in the middle of fighting another being with mastery over the cold, Frost, when the fight was interrupted by an explosion. It was the altered timeline's version of Jarek and Tazia. In a plot concocted by Aaron Black, the Black Dragon were sent in to kidnap the girls. Jarek and Tazia slaughtered their way through the club to find them, but there was nowhere for them to hide. In a last-ditch effort to escape, Cassie was able to open a portal and attempt to escape, but were captured by Movado's Red Dragon clan on the other side. During this time, the Outworld was in a state of turmoil since Shao Kahn's defeat. It was in a state of constant civil war, and Kotal Khan was regularly fighting different factions for control of Outworld, often forced to form allegiances with questionable factions. Kano and his crew traveled to Kotal Khan's palace, and Tremor caused a small earthquake to announce their arrival. In another attempt to score a big paycheck, they partnered with Kotal and agreed to fight with his forces against Shokan and Oni armies led by Kintaro. Kintaro refused to surrender, and Tremor unleashed his immense powers on the incoming hordes, throwing their attack into disarray. Kano had also brought a nuclear weapon to the battlefield and activated it, decimating a major portion of the remaining soldiers. Kintaro finally surrendered, and Kano and his crew essentially helped stop the Shokan uprising. Kano later demanded payment from Kotal Khan for the nuke he had used, but Kotal refused to pay. His alliance with Earthrealm would be put at risk if it was discovered that he had aligned himself with the Black Dragon. Kano threatened to ransom a portal stone, an artifact treasured by Kotal Khan's people, and the enraged Kotal Khan attacked Kano. Tremor immediately jumped to his master Kano's defense, but a gunshot to the shoulder stopped him. It was Sonya Blade. Kotal Khan promised to hand over the Black Dragon members, and the Special Forces took them all into custody. A very quiet end to the combined might of Kano's crew, but Tremor did return for Mortal Kombat X for the first time in playable form. Although he wasn't involved in any portion of the story, he was a downloadable character complete with an arcade ending, in which he gains ultimate power after being sent by Kano to steal a weapon.
Standing over Shinnok, Tremor reveled in his power. Much had changed since the Black Dragon's excursion to the Dream Realm. Kano had sent Tremor's team there to retrieve a psych bomb to be used in Kano's theft of Shinnok's amulet. Exposure to that realm had increased Tremor's power and expanded his mind. He would evolve into an Earth Elemental, a demigod whose power would rival that of Raiden and Fujin.
Although Tremor's defeat of Shinnok in Mortal Kombat X is definitely considered non-canon, his pre-fight interactions with Kano suggest that he had become disillusioned with Kano's leadership and angry that he was left behind in Special Forces custody.
Where you off to then?
I'm leaving the Black Dragon.
It's your funeral.
And that is the current, complete history of Kano's Black Dragon crew, a team of deadly criminals that make up a very small slice of the overall Mortal Kombat universe.
My last mission was suicide.
Wasn't that fun?
Tremor wins. Fatality.
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash that like button with all of your strength. Make sure you subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss any new content. You can follow me on social media or go into my community tab for updates. And for as little as $1 a month, you can support the channel directly on Patreon. This is Fabian, I love you guys, and I'll see you next time.